Coaches, this video covers basic rules for conducting and participating in sports camps and clinics. All coaches need to obtain approval prior to conducting, publicizing, or participating in sports camps or clinics. Before the camp or clinic, bring a copy of the camp brochure or clinic flyer to the compliance coordinator so that she has documentation which she will keep on file. This step is important for ensuring that the camp or clinic meets all appropriate NCAA rules and Washburn policies. Now let's go over the rules and policies you need to follow. For compliance with NCAA rules, you need to be aware of the following. First, all camps and clinics must be advertised as open to any and all participants, although you may limit participation by number and age. To ensure that camps and clinics are open to all participants, you need to make sure that they are publicized, brochures are widely available, and if it's our camp, it is posted on the athletics website. Second, you may not provide reduced or free admission to prospect-aged participants to attend your camp or clinic. You may have group rates or incentives to register early, but no discounting of prospects. Furthermore, boosters do not pay for prospects to attend your camp or clinic. Another NCAA rule is that if you give out awards at your camp, their cost must be included in the admission fees that the campers paid. You also need to be aware that coaches may not participate in any sports camps or clinics connected to a recruiting or scouting service. This is another reason why it's important to provide documentation to the compliance coordinator when working an outside camp. And for basketball and football coaches, you may only offer camps and clinics during the summer. With NCAA rules, we also have to track recruiting calendar provisions. If one of your camps falls during a quiet or evaluation period, the limitations do not apply to the coach's working camp, but do apply to any other college coaches who are attending. Also, you should be mindful that you may not conduct a camp or clinic involving prospects during a dead period. For those of you conducting camps or clinics using Washburn's facilities, you must do the following. Reserve the facilities you plan to use through our facility coordinator, Gil Herrera. He needs to have your event on the schedule. Remember that he has to coordinate all sorts of Washburn events as well as events run by outside groups, so it's important to do your planning early. You must run all your registration materials and money through our camp coordinator, Rita Cox. You will want to provide Rita with your camp or clinic brochures so that she knows who is attending and whether they have paid. She will deposit all money into a Washburn camp account, and this account will be used to pay all expenses associated with the camp. Another requirement is that you must put a liability waiver and release for medical treatment section on your camp or clinic brochure. You can obtain this information from the compliance coordinator. Finally, we can only pay workers who are at least 18 years of age. As we talk about who can work camps, keep this Washburn rule in mind. Now that we've talked about rules for camps and clinics, we need to talk about the rules for camp workers. You may hire student athletes and prospects to work your camps and clinics, but you will need to follow these guidelines. As with everything, there is a camp work log form that must be turned in. This form provides documentation about duties performed and compensation. Student athletes you hire for camp must perform supervisory duties in addition to coaching or officiating duties. That is, they must be in charge of a group of campers, for example, or be responsible for organizing instruction. You may not compensate student athletes who are only used for demonstrations or who only give a talk or lecture. As stated above, they must have supervisory duties in order to get paid. What you pay your student athletes must match their camp duties. You cannot pay based on their fame or what you perceive to be their value to your program. You may provide travel to your student athletes as long as all of your workers are provided the same travel. You may hire prospects to work your camp, but only if they have signed an NLI or scholarship agreement with Washburn, or if they have not signed with any institution at all. They must also have completed their senior year and be done with their playing season before they can work your camp. These rules apply even to prospects who volunteer at your camp and are not being paid. If you choose to hire high school or two-year college coaches to work at your camp or clinic, you must make sure that the compensation you provide matches the duties you have asked them to perform. You may not pay them based on their fame or what you perceive to be their value to your program. Furthermore, you may not pay them based on the number of campers they bring to your camp. So that covers the basics for what you need to know about camps and clinics. Now let's see how well you have paid attention. There are 2 compliance questions for you.
This is Coach Chris Aaron with compliance question number 1. As a Washburn coach, I'm often asked to work at high school camps. Is it okay for me to work at a high school camp that only invites players at that high school to attend?
This is Coach Eisbarth with compliance question number 2. I run the Washburn football camps, and a buddy of mine from Holton has talked to me about a fundraiser he's doing for the fire department. He's asked me to donate a couple of vouchers to our camp as an item for this community fundraiser. Can I do this?
Be sure to send me your answers to these compliance questions so that you get credit for watching the video. You are also welcome to follow up with any questions you have or suggestions for making Washburn camps and clinics better. Thanks for your time. That's all for now.